This is the show where two friends from different parts of the world discuss all things, all elite wrestling. And one of them actually knows what they're talking about. We'll let you decide. Welcome to the Beauty and the Beard Pro Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Woody and Sarah.
Folks, I hope you are ready to hear about an awesome AEW pay-per-view, because this is your Double or Nothing 2021 review.
Let's go.
Holy
so
smokes.
Excited.
Holy smokes. Look, not only did we witness a fantastic show by this company that we love in front of a packed house. How about that crowd?
Oh, it's
How about that crowd?
I felt alive.
It felt like like a brand new start. I mean, as good as the Dynamite felt, the crowd for this show was on another level.
They were off the scale with this.
It was great. But, well, I'm about to play around with somebody's profile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I almost had it in the bag. Almost.
So close, so close. So Sarah's profile will get a little facelift for the next 7 days, starting Wednesday. But we'll talk more about that later. We're not gonna get into that too much right now because I don't want to bring you down, Sarah. I need you to keep the energy going, okay?
The energy. All right, I'm here. Let's go.
Are you ready to talk some Double or Nothing?
Yes, please. Let's go.
The show kicked off with a buy-in match as Rio challenged Serena Deeb for the NWA Women's Championship. And I think it's safe to say that Deeb has fully leaned into her heel side now. We were also reminded just how freaking awesome Rio is inside those ropes. She is something else. But Deeb worked Rio's knee throughout the match, resulting in her making Rio submit to the Serenity Lock. And she retained the belt. Sarah, was this the perfect match to kick off Double or Nothing with the buy-in?
Yeah, I mean, from this you could tell the crowds were already into this. And what a way to not even ease people into it, just kind of hit them in the face with it. So this was, as the crowd said, this was awesome. So
just the crowd's reaction, just to them coming out. When Rio came out, when Deeb came out, Deeb's emotion when she hit the ramp. She was, getting the crowd pumped up. And, I saw her getting the crowd all, riled up coming down the ramp. And I thought, maybe we were wrong about the heel turn. But we say heel turn, her not really turn. She's just kind of naturally leaning into her aggressive side. But early in the match, Rio held her hand out for a handshake, and we just got the message right off the bat because Deeb didn't take the handshake. She slapped Rio in the face. So that let us know. Here we go. This
if you wanted to clear a message.
It's just right off the bat, and the crowd, you started hearing those boos. So that's what you want. You're getting that heel heat. Yeah. And at the end, before she locked on the Serenity Lock at the end, she had been working Rio's knee, and she started pounding her knee into the mat aggressively. It's just those things that to send that message that okay, this Deeb's making a change now, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of it kind of reminded me of Scorpio Sky when he started making his transition. It wasn't like a 180 or anything like that. It started to happen naturally because Rio kept fighting back. Rio's the underdog. Deeb kept trying to put her away, and Rio wouldn't go away. That's her character in Rio, and this kind of saved her too. Rio saved face in this match because she had a little bit of a knee tweak early in the match, and that played into the match. So because of the knee quote unquote injury that Deeb took advantage of, it helped Rio not seem to lose much from this loss, if that makes sense. But this is just as an example, because was one of my favorite matches of the night. And this was an example of what we can expect from this women's division now. We talk about how it keeps taking steps forward. So this match right here is an example of the future of this division. So really, really excited about what's to come.
Excited for this.
And speaking of what's to come.
Oh my God.
the main card got rolling with a bang as the Machine, Brian Cage, who came out dressed like a literal machine.
It looked like he was going to like a fancy dress party at 1 minute. Okay.
Like a cosplay event or something.
We've literally taken this literal now.
Yeah. So the Machine faced Hangman Adam Page, and Page came out to a hero's reception. That crowd was hot for the Hangman. They were ready for some cowboy stuff.
Yeah.
And they got it. Taz on commentary was not happy that the Machine chose to face Hangman without the assistance of Team Taz.
Mm-hmm.
And that played into the finish because in the end, Cage was going on an offensive tear, but just couldn't put Adam Page away. So that's when Hook and Ricky Starks came out. But the Machine got distracted trying to get them to leap. Now that opened the door for Hangman to connect with a buckshot lariat and got the 1-2-3. Hangman left happy as he, rehydrated himself with an adult beverage. And Team Taz was left bickering in the ring.
Again.
A big win for Adam Page. What do you think?
Cracks are back. The cracks are back.
They are forming. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, seriously, this was so good as like an opener for like the main card. Like, it just, and that wall of sound from the crowd just hits you. Even though we're not physically in that place, through the TV, it hits you. And I was just like a bit like, oh my God, like, this is real. It's happening. I was so happy. Yeah. And then like, obviously, with Ricky and Hook, and and I just love how Brian Cage was like, no, I'm doing this right. Yep. Like, I was like, is this what we've been saying is happening for a while now? Is he's actually now starting slowly but surely unravel? And it looked like at 1 minute that Brian Cage was going to like properly start fighting Ricky. And he just seemed to go, the neck.
Easy, big guy, easy.
Easy, the neck. And I was just like, oh, yeah, in a way, Ricky, you're probably better having your neck like that at the moment, because he looked like he was going to just like throw him. I think I can speak for everybody when I say I'm really interested to find out what happens next with Team Taz, because as we know, going forward, Team Taz did not have a good night.
No, they did not. So what do you think is next for him? I mean, is this the end of? I know we're going to talk about Hangman in just a second, but is this the beginning of the end for Brian Cage and Team Taz?
It looks like this might start, like we said before, like in previous podcasts. It kind of went away, the tension. Like, it wasn't like shown on screen at all. It kind of seems a bit more of a gelled unit again. But like we said, you can't like paper over them cracks once they start. It's gonna keep going. And I think we are looking at like at some point, and I like how it's a slow burn. I mean, they're not throwing it in our faces all the time now, but it is a very slow burn that we are gonna see. Team Taz come to literal blows. And I'm so ready for that.
I feel it. There's going to be some infighting coming up.
We've got to Ricky's got to be 100% before it happens. So
got to get him healthy.
Yeah, so that's why I think they've all slowed down a bit on it.
Yeah. Unless we want to jump straight to Brian Cage versus Will Hobbs, and I'd be okay with that. That'd be it.
I think it's going to be something like, I don't know, I can just see all Team Taz like against Brian Cage and like a friend. I don't know his friend's going to be type thing. So I'm looking forward to it.
So, what's next for Hangman? I mean, what's he gets that win. We thought Brian Cage. We both picked Brian Cage to win this. By the way, I should have stuck with my guns. My initial thought was that Hangman was going to win, and you convinced me. You're such a you're so good at changing my mind. I gotta learn not to listen to you going forward.
You trying to say I'm manipulative?
Just a smidge. You're good at what you do, but
you should have stuck with your man.
I should have stuck with Hangman, but I didn't. So I'm wrong. We were both wrong. So we thought that the best story was for Hangman to lose and have to keep fighting back up. So what's the next hurdle? What do you think? Or do we just wait and see? I mean, obviously we wait and see. We don't know, but
I think we're still not done with Team Taz yet for Hangman because they're going to be knocked off at this with Brian Cage and with Hangman. I'm going to think. I think we may see like some Dark Order filter in for this.
Okay,
but whatever happens, I'm excited because he's going to get the belt.
That's going to be an interesting. Yes, he better get the belt. That's going to be an interesting story going forward, though. Is the relationship with Hangman and Dark Order over the next 3 months? Does he get too big for his boots all of a sudden because he's getting wins again? Can't be because he is that everybody's behind him top baby face. He can't get that. It can't get. I guess you'd say egotistical because one that wouldn't fit. That wouldn't fit the Hangman character at all. And plus, that wouldn't do him any favors going into the match with eventual, we assume, better happen, match with Omega at All Out. So I hope that's not the road they go down, but I am interested to see what happens with that relationship if he wants them to have his back going into this thing, or if he wants to go in it solo. I think as egotistical solo, just to protect them kind of thing. Yeah. I think what we need to say here is we trust the process, Mr. TK. Yes, we do. We trust it as long as he wins. Yeah, eventually. Okay. Because dang, I'm not happy in the next bit. You earn my trust even more with this next one, TK. So now... Can I just say before we start, what the hell has Nick Jackson done to his hair? I think it looks beautiful. Because now I've had a real difficulty telling them apart until I realised one of them's dyed their hair really weird. Because now they look identical apart from hair. I was generally going, what has he... has he accidentally spilt it? Has he one of his kids have some fun with hair dye? They're going absolutely wild with this stuff. They're going insane with this gimmick now. I feel like we're going back to the 80s and the 90s with this. Oh, it's good stuff. It's such I'm expecting them to come out to Shawn Michaels' theme at some point. Exactly. Or coming down on a zip line. Yeah. Okay, God. Yes, now comes the moment we have all been waiting for. Or at least we've been waiting for. Everybody else I'm waiting for them. We were like, no, this is the match. No, this is it. Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with it. Yeah, this is where we separate. You're not gonna be happy about this, but this is where we separate the winners from the thieves. I love how they came out with the... Someone put on Twitter, I genuinely thought they were just handing out air chores. No, I thought they were just throwing stuff into the crowd. I literally expected them just to throw a shoe at random people. I was just like, that was probably taking it a bit too far, guys. Can't stand it, dude. I love how Mox and Eddie got so into the crowd, though. You could just tell, for Eddie Kingston as well, he's not, that's a full, massive crowd for Eddie Kingston, and, the look on his face. I was just like, dude, you 100% deserve it. Literally, drink it in, take an hour to get to the ring if you want. I don't care. Yeah. You really deserve this. Yeah, they, the crowd entrance, it was a cool moment. That was beautiful. Even for thieves, it was a cool moment that I was glad Eddie Kingston got, especially Eddie Kingston in that, even though he's a thief. There's still love Mox though. You can't do anything to Moxie at the moment. He's still loved. Yep. So,
my boy.
yes, this is where Moxley and Kingston failed in their attempt to challenge for the AEW World Tag Team titles that are being held by the greatest.
Down trying.
Being held by the greatest tag team the world has ever known, the Young Bucks. And
I'd like to quote Moxley from the countdown. I just don't like them. I tried. I just don't like them.
Sometimes it's tough being on top, you know.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Bleeds.
You can't please everybody.
My heart bleeds for them.
And we can just skip over the details of the match. All that matters. All that matters is how it ended, and it ended with Moxley taking multiple BTE triggers and being pinned for a Young Bucks victory. This battle was decided fair and square, and that's all anyone needs to know. That's all anyone needs to know about this when the Young Bucks win.
It was a good match, though.
Yeah, it was.
I can't. Can't deny it.
I had to get that out of the way. Okay, we're done. I'm done.
Are you done with that now?
Yeah, I'm done. End scene. Let's go. Yes, it was a great match. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Renee Paquette today when I was flicking through Twitter after I'd watched it. I was trying to find the tweet now that she put out.
Oh, I saw. I think I saw.
Oh, did you see it? Oh, at the Young Bucks are bad guys. I was like,
yeah.
She knows. Her man's just been pummeled. She knows. Don't accept a woman. Don't anger a woman that's that pregnant and you just beat a guy up. Yeah, I mean, look, the match was incredible. Like, we knew we was going to get a full on, insane, crazy match because the styles clash to begin with, and also the characters that the Bucks are at the moment, the heels, absolute A-hats they are, against Moxley and Kingston, who are meant to be the baby faces, but like the way they work a match, you wouldn't think that. And I love how that, even though they had the differences in style, that kind of it gelled it together really well, especially
it did
where they just went to town on them straight away. They just generally was like the Young boom.
Oh, look, they didn't even let the streamers fall. The streamers were coming down before. I was like, dude, that's illegal. You can't attack before the streamers hit the ground.
I just love how I was like, I can't see what's happening because the streamers are literally falling. And you can just see Brandon Cutler at the side trying to get them out of the way.
Oh, and Brandon Cutler, he got a beating too.
I love that. And you're like, oh my God, he's almost up on him. I was like, I don't care. Bye. I literally thought though throughout this, them near falls and the near chokeouts and stuff, I was like, oh come on. Come on, you got it. And the back and forth that they had, where Eddie was then trying to start Nick get into the ring, and then it was reversed, and then they're pulling out that person out of the ring. And the Bucks using Don Callis' playbook by spiking people on the head with stuff.
I didn't see
Kenny
that part.
Omega with a microphone. Matt Jackson with a cooling can. You busted the boy open, and he still was going. You literally had to basically give him a concussion.
They do like to use those foreign objects.
How many BT triggers did they have? 4, and that's the only way they could bring Mox down.
I did like that it took more than what would take most guys to put, because that's really important.
Because he just basically just kept getting back up. He was like, no.
And because they hit the first one and they just kind of look, and Moxie's still look at him like that's it. No, that was cool because you got to save Mox, man. You can't let him go down.
You can't completely throw away everything that is built up over 2 years.
But I do like that too because I probably most people going into this would probably expect Kingston to take the fall. Just because you keep your biggest superstar strong. Mm-hmm. I like that they're not afraid to go down the path of letting the biggest name take the fall. Because they may have gotten into this and Moxley probably said, "No, dude, I'm taking it. We'll figure this out." Because
it also gives some fire
probably
going
protecting
forward.
Eddie too. Yeah,
it gives some fire going forward as well because Mox got put away by the Bucks. Now, we know what an angry John Moxley is like.
Yeah.
So
you love pissed off Moxley.
I do. Pissed off Moxley is the best Moxley, let's be honest. I can't wait for him now to, like, you know, he's really going to go after the Elite, isn't it? Like, this was once a feud with Kenny. Now it's a feud with everybody. Because, like, and then obviously, like, the Good Brothers turned up. They didn't last long. And also, I love the bit where, I can't remember if it was Nick or Matt, but then became Roman Reigns. I was just like, wow, shots are fired.
They were channeling all kinds of people. Like, they
were generally just going through, like, a list in their head of people they could be.
They were going through the WWE Legends roster for a minute because, Nick did the whole Randy Savage thing in the middle of the ring, and I think Matt did the Hogan ear thing in front of the crowd, and I was like, whoa. It was I love how
I love that they bring that into the matches. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and the Roman Reigns thing was
the Roman Reigns thing was just wow, what a kick in the gonads that was. Especially afterwards that they did the fist bump over Marks, like what they did with the Shield. Oh yeah, I was just like, you're really making me hate you now. Like, I didn't like you. Now I don't really like you. But
it's like they go after the quote unquote marks too with a lot of the stuff they do because they're trying to get people so mad that don't like this company too.
And you can see even in, like, the countdown they were doing that.
Yeah.
And they literally, that's what they're going for. And the best bit is the people that don't like them doing it are still biting.
Yeah.
Did Mark say have a shirt on that said Mark with, like, a picture of one of the books?
I saw a mark on it. I didn't see the picture.
I thought it might have been one of the books, and I was just like, oh, he's so cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But yeah, I mean, we could literally talk about this match for about 2 hours.
We could. Y'all got time? Y'all got time? Okay. Yeah. So
I have to eat at some point tonight.
I guess we will. Yeah. I guess we'll move on. But before we do, I just want to still make a point that I did win this bet. So yeah, starting Wednesday, y'all keep an eye out for that. I'm not going to go too far with it. Not going to go too far. So, but there will be some changes.
But I think we need to state it on here now that the Bucks, Mox and Eddie Kingston, what a tremendous match.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, I literally, like, I can't pick my top matches, and I think we'll discuss it at the end, but I loved it, but I still don't know what my favorite match was.
So many good things, but yeah, this match was all four guys. Fantastic job. Fantastic job.
Absolutely amazing.
Well built up. This thing was built perfectly. Not a happy ending for everybody.
No.
You've been one of them. I get it. But it's fun.
But at least I stand by my guys, which you failed to do for Hangman. So yeah. Moving on.
All right. So next we had the Casino Battle Royale, and boy, were we in for a few surprises, a couple of surprises. And as with any Battle Royale, there's just a lot going on, but I want to hit on a couple. Yeah, I want to hit on a couple of bullet points. One, Max Caster's rap. Christian lost his edge. Matt Sydal is slipping. And what was the deal with Max needing, like, eye contact with Dustin? What was that?
I think it was something about him being old. I'm gonna guess.
Okay, yeah, because he was really wanting Dustin to look him in the eye. Look at me, Dustin. Look at me, Dustin. He kept on, and
But I love how he went for Christian Cage, Matt Sydal, and Dustin Rhodes, but he completely left out Hobbs. I was like, it's probably the wisest move you made.
Smart move. So he is smart. He is smart
because you don't want. But he literally made, like, himself like a number one target, and yeah, he was pretty quick. But my second point, that crowd loved Brian Pillman Jr. Yes.
wow, I wasn't expecting that. I think, because we really haven't gotten to see a full crowd react to Brian Pillman Jr., but that like sent a message to me. I was wow, and it had to feel really good to him. I love to hear that.
Yeah,
we had Brian Pillman.
I think he's endeared himself to the fans after everything that came out and stuff. But he's also like phenomenal. So you can't even, just say it's because of the documentary. I mean, like he's generally like really good.
Yeah, and a likable dude too.
They are like Varsity Blondes are like. I don't mean this in like a horrible way, but they're a nice tag team. Like tag team is like division is so, packed and like
heavily populated.
Yeah,
with good teams, not just fillers, good teams.
Yeah, exactly, and like they are just like so enjoyable to watch as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can just see like they're just fantastic. Yeah. But yes, Brian Pillman Jr. is over.
Yeah. My third point, Lio freaking Rush was the Joker. Come on.
How did nobody even contemplate it?
I didn't, I looked around on Twitter and people might have been saying it beforehand. If so, I missed it.
Anything, and if it was that, I missed it.
If you predicted it and we missed it, let us know.
Yeah.
Because that's awesome. I really enjoyed that. And I think what is starting to build up with these Joker picks, I feel like they need to keep it going, is that it's always going to be a surprise. But I think it's going to be a surprise, but you don't get too lofty CM Punk anticipation of what it's going to be, and they keep that going where it's always going to be somebody exciting that you're going to be excited about, but you're not going to like keep thinking it's going to
I think this was the best way they've ever done one of these.
Yes, and it makes the Jokers so fun. So
by not building it up and building the hype, they've literally allowed everybody, the fans, to contemplate it, think about it, and then so everybody's been excited for who it could be, but not to the point where they're like, if it's not this person, I will be disappointed, because they've not given you any expectation.
Yep, I think it's
so.
They're slowly building some genuine excitement with this Joker every time.
But I must say, when this happened, when he came out, I genuinely just screamed, "Oh my God, why did nobody think of this?"
I know.
And my husband was just like, "What?" I was just like, "Go away. It doesn't matter, you don't understand." Go in the garden.
But I just want to know, go in the garden. that's the new thing, right? Just go to the garden.
Just go to the garden. Like take the dog. Go to
the garden. The garden is the new corner.
Yeah,
that's
where I send him.
Go make yourself a gnome. Be a gnome.
Yeah.
So
go sit outside in the sunshine.
I'm really excited with Lio Rush too. Not just because of this, but like, is he going to be around regularly? And
see,
if so,
I
man,
had a
match
little
up
look on his Twitter profile, and there's nothing there to suggest that
he's all elite. Yeah.
No, there is nothing yet to suggest that. I think he worked an indie match a few days ago or something, and if he does become part of All Elite Wrestling, that like my brain exploded.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, he can always come in and out. Like they have that option.
Because Rocky Romero, he wrestled on Dark Elevation the other day. Rocky Romero is with New Japan, but he wrestles on New Japan Strong. He lives in Florida, I believe. So Lio Rush could be in the same category with Rocky Romero, where he can make appearances. Even if it's on Dark Elevation, I'm cool with that. I would tune in to watch some Lio Rush matches.
The thing is, you just know if he does become part of AEW, the exact words that will come out of certain people's mouths on Twitter and frustrate the hell out of me.
I know. It is frustrating. I know hearing but he's from the other company. Dude, just get the talent.
Deal with it.
Yeah, it's talented people deserve to be on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it's not going to be with this company, why should it not be with this company?
Yeah.
If they deserve the spot, give them the spot. I don't care where they work for. Anyways.
Okay. But also, when I saw him, I was like, okay, dream matches, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin. My brain was going insane.
Speaking of Jungle Boy, I'm glad you brought him up because holy moly.
Oh my God.
Jungle Boy winning this Battle Royale may be one of the coolest moments in AEW history. I mean, just
that was electric.
Wow.
100% deserve. Like, this guy, like, he is young, but he is phenomenal. The amount of chances he's had, and like he's been knocked back, and now he's got this.
When it was him and Christian left, I had talked myself. You know, we both picked Christian to win this. Now, funny enough, our dark horse picks on the prediction, we both solidly thought Christian was going to win it, but we also both, our second pick was going to be Jungle Boy.
Yeah. But I changed mine because we didn't want to do samesies. You
did. But originally, I'll give you credit though. You were thinking the same way I was, which is funny.
Yeah.
But what's great is I kind of, sort of. So but when I saw those two in the ring, my brain went, okay, well, this is what's going to happen. Like, we know Christian's going to win it, but they're giving us this tease because Jungle Boy, they've had him so close several times. It's going to happen next year. So I had talked myself into they're going to give us this tease again, and I'm cool with that. And then he's going to win it next year, and that's going to be so cool because when he finally does it after coming so close this time. But no, they did it now. Like, and that just blew my freaking mind because
congrats on AEW for that pick.
Like, yes. Because I was kind of starting to feel bad for Christian because the crowd he was slowly turning into a heel. And not by anything he had done, but just because they were so into Jungle Boy. They wanted Jungle Boy to win this, that naturally they were like, no, we don't want Christian to win because this just doesn't feel right. Yeah. And they made the right call. I'm not sure if that was a plan all along or if they made the last minute decision, but whenever they made it, thank goodness they made it because that was a moment I will never forget.
The company that deals in details.
Yes. Oh. And details like Marco's stunt coming out to hug him at the end.
Oh my God! He
on the ring post
looked elated.
Yeah, these people care about each other. I mean, I'm not saying other places don't, but it literally feels like a family with stuff that happens like this. Genuine emotion is what I saw for Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus coming out, and then Christian staying in the ring.
That was interesting.
It was. And
I slightly feel that he is going to be like, what, a young kid has gone over like a veteran.
Yeah.
I think we may, not straight away because AEW are smart, but I do think we're going to start getting a bit of not a very satisfied Christian with how, that went.
So you think he's gonna start getting a little frustrated that these if younger guys are getting wins over him?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen straight away.
Yeah.
I do think slowly. This is gonna start to build on him a bit.
Because I love the embrace, like him giving Jungle Boy basically his blessing, like, hey man, now go win it. But it was like real fiery too. Go win it.
Yeah, it was really like violent. It was just
like if I'm not gonna win it, by God, you go win it. But so if Jungle Boy's unsuccessful, does Christian throw that in his face? To where it's
I thought it
hey, you got your shot and you failed. Yeah. I wouldn't have failed. So I don't know.
I did think it was weird that he stayed in the ring when Jungle Boy was having his moment. I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, get out. Like, this isn't for you. And I thought that kind of maybe leaned towards kind of a bit of a, like, not a heelish move, but kind of more of like a bit of a tendency type thing.
It could go either way.
But it might happen. So it's just interesting.
Yep, it could have been a genuine, hey, I want to stay in here so I can congratulate you, or it could be where,
But it's just them details you've got to remember. They love just like dropping stuff in, and they're trusting you to go, oh, right, like further down the line. Oh, yeah, they're the dots, they connect. So they trust you to do it, and I'm just so happy.
Yep. This I like the way this ended. Now the battle royale itself, it had some, slower moments, but all battle royales do. But it was all built to this final bit, and that absolutely worked. They want us
I'd
to
also like to mention before we move on to the next thing, Penta, I loved your gear.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And the crowd reaction for Penta too.
Because he came out as like symbolizing the Joker.
Yes.
I don't know if that was a troll or if that was just because he likes the Joker. But I was just like,
well,
okay,
he was back.
I see you.
He was Batman a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's gone heel.
Interesting.
All right.
Right, let's get on to this next one.
And as much as I would love to skip over this, we can't because we're doing a full review. So now we have the matchup between the American Dream, Cody Rhodes, and the Governor, Anthony Ogogo. You say it better than I do. And as
I'm British, dude.
Valid point. And no fair. It's no fair. Not fair. You even talk Southern better than I do.
I know. I'm a master. I'll tell us. Let's face it.
Say Ricky Bobby one time.
Ricky Bobby.
See, like she's a better American Southerner than I am. Okay. And as we've talked about numerous times before, instead of this being centered around the Nightmare family and the factory, the focus was put squarely on a narrative of the United States versus England. And with me being from the US and Sarah being from the UK, it, just gives both of us a bit of a headache.
Yeah, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies, basically.
An icky feeling. So, especially because we both felt that this was a moment where if we're booking a Go-Go as a monster heel, that this is their first meeting, that a Go-Go needed to Go-Go over. But that did not happen, ma'am. No. Instead of Captain America, we got the Homelander. I mean,
exactly.
I mean, Cody ended up pulling off the victory over a Go-Go by hitting the vertebreaker for the pinfall. Then he went into the crowd to get them all pumped up because they weren't as pumped up as I think a lot of people would have anticipated them being for the Cody win. But he goes into the crowd and gets them all riled up, and that works.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and I don't blame you for doing it. You got to try to do something to create that energy. So, but oh boy, it's talk to me about this one, Sarah.
Look, I'm going to break this down in like how it went and how I thought each bit went, because otherwise I will curl up in cringe fest again.
Yeah.
The match itself, if you take everything away from it, and just look at it as a match, was good fun.
It was.
As a match. It wasn't the best thing in the world. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was good fun.
It was.
Add everything onto it, and I literally wanted to like shrivel into my seat and hide, because I've said this to you. It's really weird for me, being from where I'm from in the UK, to see a crowd reaction to somebody regarding their country, because it just doesn't happen here. It really doesn't happen. The only time we get hyped for being, if you want to say in quote, where we are, is when it's England playing against any team in the world. And that's not even the UK, that's just England. That's the only time you'll ever hear like England like shouting.
Like a rally cry. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me personally, to hear like USA being chanted like at this, I was just like, I feel so awkward. Like I felt like I had like, accidentally opened a door to something that I wasn't invited to. I was just like, okay, bye guys, enjoy yourselves, bye. Like, I was invited to the wrong party.
Wrong room.
Yeah. I was at the wrong party with the wrong people.
Yeah.
I will say I'm glad Cody brought back his original theme because I don't think you could have had the other one with a crowd because that look, whatever you think about Cody, that theme entrance is really good.
It is good.
What he was wearing, that's a choice.
That jacket was something else. It was something else.
Not just that, but the boots as well. It's just a bit too much.
Yeah.
Like in my face.
Yeah.
Now I am saying this as a personal thing. Like if you loved it, great, enjoy yourselves.
No.
Personally, I just thought it was a bit too much considering what it was centered around.
Well, I think if anybody's listened to our stuff before this show, they're not going to be surprised of our take on this.
Yeah.
It's not that we're not being completely negative on it. We just
I just don't like the connotation around it.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And it's just in contrast to how a go-go came out. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
how like a guy from the UK comes out for a match of like Battle of the Countries, inverted commas. Like, it just because
he came out with the flag with him, and that was it.
That was it.
Yeah,
like that. But, and tasteful. Like,
and that's Cody's character, like his, because he's really over the top with everything. So it fits Cody. It does.
It does fit Cody, but people watching outside of America, I generally felt slightly awkward.
Yes,
I just like cringing me, like toes curling, like. But I do want to say, like, a go-go went to the top rope, so that was amazing. Like
freaking frog splash.
Oh my god,
that was a pretty frog splash.
Yeah, brilliant.
And I thought I was just talking about the match in general. I thought the go-go looked really good because we talked more in private about Anthony Ogogo's ability, versus. Cody, because I know Cody trained him, and it's like, how will he actually look in like a longer wrestling match where he got to start pulling off some moves instead of a couple punches here and there. And I was pleasantly surprised. I thought he looked really good. Not perfect by any means, but I mean, he hasn't been training that long. Yes. So for where he is, I'm really excited.
Was on a pay-per-view, like no pressure.
And in a pretty high profile match, especially because of all the stuff surrounding it, whether we like it or not. And again, that's the only positive is just because it got more press because of that.
Yeah.
So it got more people talking about a go-go. Still don't like it though, because I think let's get rid of hey, he's a villain because he's from somewhere, or she's a villain because of where they're from. Villains, just let villains be villains because of what they do.
Yeah.
And not where they're from. Just judge based on their actions, not by who they are.
It is not the right time in history for this at all.
I agree.
And I don't think if we ever look back at this match, anybody will, like, most people will not look at it back with like, oh yeah, that was. They're not going to remember the match. They're going to remember what was around it, and that's sad because this was Ogogo's first pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
It was all. This sounds horrible, and I don't mean it to sound like that, but it was all about Cody when it was Ogogo's first pay-per-view match.
Yeah,
it just didn't sit right.
Well, yeah, and because he was built up as this monster heel, that punches were deadly until now, and it felt like in this match the punches kind of got buried a little bit. Yeah, we talked about how his Bola punch felt like the Judas effect.
Yeah.
Well, now you got to do some work to get it.
And the fact that Cody Kate was all right after them as well, it was like, come on, like
I didn't like that.
Let's think about it. Like what you're trying to portray here.
Yeah, I think Ogogo should have been protected more than that. Now, the legit rib injury, I know, they talked that up during the match, and it kind of got me thinking. I was like, they're trying to really play up his rib injury, so that they'll quote unquote protect him in a loss.
The injury has been said that it's not a break; it was like a sprain. So that doesn't even like I want to say it was painful as hell. But
they were
that's
trying
not
to
a way
use that
to protect him.
But you could.
It feels like this is what they've done with Lance Archer. That's my worry.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit. I'm interested to see what happens next for Ogogo. And of course, we found out that there's going to be a tag match he's involved in.
Please just be just a normal tag match
with Cody
Please just
on
be
Friday.
Normal.
I'm hoping we can wash ourselves clean of this.
Yeah.
Let's be done with it and move away from this US versus the UK thing and
please
just keep it about wrestling now.
Let's move on to something really violent and good.
Lucky for you, there's something really violent and good coming up next. Yes.
What is it?
This is a great segue. Next, we had a battle of monsters as the Murder Hawk monster, Lance Archer, without Jake, challenged Miro for the TNT title in a match that was everything I thought it would be between these two. And that's a good thing.
To you.
Yes.
You called that Jake was going to get somehow not there in the match.
Did you give me credit for something?
I gave you credit. Do not think about it too much.
Holy moly! I don't know what I can't. I gotta regain my thought here. God, did y'all hear that?
Note it down because it doesn't happen often.
Check Twitter. Check Twitter. It says hell just froze over. Hell just froze over. Holy moly!
She does have a heart.
Look, but yeah, this was a great match. Great match. Neither man kept control of the match for long. Like momentum kept going back and forth. The match seemed to take a turn though when we were just talking about Jake. When Jake Roberts finally made his way out to the ring
on his birthday.
With what appeared to be a snake sack.
Oh my god!
And Miro proceeded to hurl the snake in the bag all the way back to the ramp. Like,
do you know what?
So
talking about that,
yes.
I genuinely wish I was like a 10-year-old kid and saw that because, like, okay, let's all be very, very honest. Wasn't a snake in it, but
what? Wait, what?
Because that's called animal cruelty.
No, there was a snake in it, right? You kidding me?
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Look,
there's a snake in
it. I think there was. Can we have a moment
in my boots?
Nice Woody joke.
Yes.
Nice. Can we have a moment of silence for the snake, please?
R.I.P. Snake.
And we almost needed a moment of silence for Jake Roberts because he was about to get charged at by Miro, but Archer intervened. Thank goodness.
That was so good how that happened.
So, and after a couple of near falls, one of them after a chokeslam by Archer on Miro, it was real close. Archer tried for the blackout, but was unsuccessful.
They protected that as well, which I'm very happy about.
They did, which was the opposite of what they did with that bolo punch with the go-go. Yep. But I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay.
Do not go back onto that.
Okay, sorry, we got away from it. Sorry. Okay, then after what may have been a low blow and a thrust kick by Miro went for the game over. Archer fought out, but Miro locked it back in and then rolled onto his back with it. And Archer apparently literally blacked out himself. Yeah. Because the ref stopped the match and Miro retained the TNT title.
So who guessed this right out of us?
We both got it right.
Yeah, we did.
We both went Miro.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we got something right.
We got something right together. Yeah, no. This was so much fun.
Yeah,
Miro generally scares the living daylights out of me, though, and that's coming from me. Like, my God,
it takes a lot to scare her.
Literally, like into my soul. Like I was just like, all right, dude, stop staring at me. What have I got on my face? Like, it's just like I'm trying to eat eggs. Like, leave me alone.
I'm trying to eat eggs. Leave me alone.
I'm having breakfast. I was just like, okay. He's still staring at me, people. Like, but no. Finally, they have got Miro right. But what the hell is going to happen for Lance Archer? Because the dude can't get a break.
This, we on our prediction show, we mapped out what would happen in an Archer loss because we anticipated an Archer loss.
Yeah.
So it's got to go the way we're talking. It has to. He's got to get rid of Jake, or Jake take a step back. Whether whether it's a work, whether it's a work injury or something, something that, hey, something got tweaked during that when all the stuff was happening with Snake and Miro, and he takes a break, and then after a little bit, whether once Sting gets done with his thing that's going on, Sting kind of steps into the picture, and this is where the next story for Archer really takes off. It feels like it's got to go there.
Do you think Archer then is the end goal for the TNT title?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I think that's the story. Now, do we get Archer Miro 2 at All Out?
That was my thought on it, because I don't genuinely see who else would get the title off him. I don't see anybody else in the thing to actually get the title off Miro apart from Lance Archer, and that would be the redemption thing for Archer. Yeah,
you still got to think Archer winning gold is going to be the end game for this, and it's not going to be the world title.
It has to be.
Yeah, it feels like it. I mean, it'd be one of those moments where the crowd would go crazy when he finally did it too.
Yeah.
You've gotten him so close so many times to where when you finally pull that trigger, I think everybody's going to be ready to explode.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. So, that new beautiful AEW Women's title, it was on the line in this next one, as Britt Baker, DMD, challenged Women's Champion Hikaru Shida for her title. And Baker came out to a crowd pop that would have made you think she was an absolute baby face.
I love crowds. You literally, you can't tell them what to do, can you?
But we knew this was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
We knew this was going to happen.
Look, we've said this before, nothing is knocking Shida. When I say this, I am not attacking her. But we have waited for this. It is long overdue. Britt needs that title to continue what she's doing. That is it.
Yeah.
End of.
Yeah. Yep. And look, and the people got what they wanted. But I was worried several times in this match. I was worried several times that Baker was going to lose. There were so many near falls, especially late in the match after Rebel Reba accidentally clocked Baker with the crutch. I'm like, what the crap? But then finally, after both women looked beaten and battered, I mean, they looked like they were worn out. If they weren't really worn out, I believe they were. Baker was able to fully cinch in the lockjaw for the submission win, and the new era was ushered in. As Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is now officially the AEW Women's Champion. And Tony Schiavone was so happy. He left the desk and he met Baker on the ramp. That was like a real moment between them.
That
and
was
I thought,
legit.
Yeah. And again, she's the heel, but who cares? It's one of those things. It's such a cool moment. Who gives a rip? Let's just let it happen. So
you can't go in people's emotions. This is
man.
This is just because the AEW fans there and obviously watching have known that it's got to be Britt Baker's at some point, and the fact that it would have happened sooner, I believe, if we weren't in the pandemic era.
Probably
now
so.
That's over with. Now it reset and we start with this. Shida brought out some little heelish tactics, not heelish, but not like her type thing, which was noted. But at the end of the day, the correct woman went over.
Yeah. And hey, Baker got the kind of the baby face moment at the end of that, and we talked about just let it happen, because it's in the moment. Let's do that. Next week or on Friday, we're going to get the championship celebration with her. Let that be the moment that she starts hammering home the heel stuff again. But I'll tell you what was nice, when they cut away after the match, I think they cut to the announce table or something, you could hear the crowd chanting, "Thank you, Shida."
Yes,
really loud in the background.
And I wish they had stayed on the crowd for that.
Me too.
It is what it is.
Because when Sheeta came out, she looked very emotional.
She was
like
very
I thought
emotional.
I thought she was crying. Like I wasn't sure. She was trying to hold back tears. Something, it makes me feel bad about it. But seeing her come out, she was emotional, and it may have been because she's in front of this live crowd again for the first time. That might be where the emotion came from. But yeah, you're right. I wish the camera would have stayed on her.
She said she wanted to defend it in front of a live crowd.
Yeah, exactly. So that would fit. But you're right. I wish the camera would have stayed on her, or we get some footage later on of her reaction to that crowd chanting "Thank you, Sheeta," because that was probably a pretty emotional moment for her.
Yeah.
But either way, Britt Baker is the AEW Women's Champion.
Here we go, guys. Dropping for it.
Thank you, goodness.
Yes.
Yeah. Next, we had Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page taking on the legend. And boy, he is an awesome legend. Sting and the Enigma Darby Allin, who apparently traveled to Jacksonville with the top downs. Nice.
See, not everybody loves Darby Allin's video packages, but I am such a sucker for them.
Yeah, me too.
I'm genuinely oh my god, just how this generally does look like a proper not father son relationship, but that type of kind of Sting's his mentor, and he's really
brother,
taking exactly. And then when Darby came out with emulating Sting makeup,
that was
insane.
that was nice. That was really nice.
God, so good.
I love that face paint. But, a lot of the questions going into this match were about how physical Sting would be in his first live match in AEW.
I was genuinely worried.
You were. She was really, really
you,
worried.
Off, not even doing the podcast. I was just I am still so worried about this.
Yeah, she was really worried. She was ready to tell Tony Khan to cancel this match.
Yeah, I was so scared.
But we got our answer pretty quickly.
Oh my God.
As Sting took a suplex from Sky on the ramp, but he popped right up.
I screamed.
He stood behind Scorpio Sky, and Sky's face was perfect. He threw Sky off the ramp onto Ethan Page, and then in one of the coolest moments of the show, pulled off his shirt and dove off of the poker chips on the Sky and Page. The crowd lost its mind. I jumped up off my couch. Yes.
I literally, when he had the suplex onto the ramp, I went, oh my God, he's literally not done anything yet, and you've broken him. What the hell is wrong with you people?
You killed Sting!
You broke Sting! And then when he got on to, when he got behind Sky, and, that stare, and, we know that Scorpio Sky loved Sting when he was growing up, properly. So this must have been a moment for him. He must have been on cloud 9 after this match. And then when Sting takes his shirt off and he jumps off the poker, I was like, okay, he's good. He's all right. Yep. Oh my God, he's actually doing. Oh Jesus!
So cool. That was awesome.
Well, I'm now scared and excited. So let's go.
At the same time,
what the hell is going to happen?
Yeah, and while that surprised everybody, what happened with Darby and Ethan Page really didn't, because there's a lot of bad blood between them, and it continued in this match. In fact, Ethan Page even tossed Darby Allin from the ring into the stands, threw him
into his brothers. Basically.
Yes, launched him into his family. Front row. I say front row. He might have landed a couple of seats back. I'm not sure, but he tossed him like a lawn dart into the stand.
How is this guy still functioning as a human?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah,
because seriously, how is he not in a wheelchair or completely plaster casted from top to toe?
Plaster casted.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he's something else.
Literally, when he picks him up, I was like, oh, he's just gonna throw him backwards. I was like, oh no, he's gonna throw him down onto the ring, and then he was like, wee. I was like, what did? And then Ethan Page's face. I was like, okay,
oh, I know. Yeah.
1, I don't like
psychotic.
You. 2, I think I'm scared of you. 3, you may just become my new favorite person in AEW if you carry on doing stuff like this, because
it's so weird. Like,
I was just
I
like,
hate you.
oh,
I don't like what you do.
but
I'm
I
scared of
love what
you.
you do.
I love you.
Oh, hey, this is my type of stuff. And if
so
we
confusing.
get what I think we're gonna get, I'm so
Oh,
excited.
I know. So, but in the end, we got another awesome moment as Sting hit the Scorpion Death Drop on Scorpio Sky and got the win.
Try
the
saying
Legend
that fast.
Sting. I know. I did 7 times, and I kept messing up. We had to keep doing it. But the Legend got the pinfall in front of that crowd, and they absolutely loved it.
Nuts.
Yes. So,
like,
this match, man.
Yeah. See, this is the thing that I think is really interesting. I love how Sting got the win, but still got the crowd to go behind Darby at the same time, because he got up on the rope and he was like, celebrating, and then pointed over to Darby, as in, it just wasn't just me, like, this guy. And that is the way you use a legend in wrestling to put over the new talent. Because seriously, Darby was amazing in this, but it did feel like we were centering on Sting, which sometimes can make you feel a bit like, well, why? Because, like, surely it's about the guys coming up. But this was, like, done and paced perfectly, that it felt like they shared it. It didn't feel like Sting was overpowering Darby or Darby was overpowering Sting in this. They felt like they shared it, and that at the end, when they did that celebration and then they hugged each other. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But you can say what you want about wrestling, but that is emotional.
It was. And you mentioned about how to book legends. We saw another example of that, in the Battle Royale with what they did with Christian and Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
And Jungle Boy went over there. That was a perfect way to book a legend or a veteran. Not, Christian would be a legend also, but not in the sense that Sting is.
Yeah.
But and this is another example of how you do it. Now, you had the legend win, but in the way it was done, it, like you said, him totally acknowledging Darby in that it helped rise Darby up even more. I mean, the veteran got the pin fall in this. That was for that crowd.
But that was the best decision.
It's for the live crowd. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it took nothing away from anybody else. It didn't bury anybody.
No, that is a moment that people will remember. And the kids that were there in like 20, 30 years time, when, Sting is revered in the industry as like, he came back and he did this on pay-per-view. The kids can go, I was there for that. That is something that literally will live in their heads forever. And while we're on about this, before we move on to the next thing, when Sting got Darby from his brothers out of the crowd, and he needed to get into the ring because of the count, he was literally torn, because he knew if he put him in there, like, Ethan Page was ready for him. But if he did, then if it didn't, they'd lose the match. And you could see, like, in his face, he was genuinely like, what do I do?
He was screaming. Yeah.
And then Darby just was like,
I got it.
I got it.
I'll make the decision for you.
Brilliant. Like, seriously, I'm going to watch this match tomorrow and the day after, because the stuff I've missed, I'm pretty sure the stuff I've missed.
And we got a world title match to do.
Oh, my God.
This is the first of our double main event for tonight. We got Pac versus Orange Cassidy versus Kenny Omega for the AEW world title. And you and I, we didn't talk a whole lot beforehand about how we felt about this match, but so we may see things a little differently, but possibly the best triple threat match I've ever seen.
Best triple threat match, 100%.
Yes. In this match, we learned, or rather we were reminded, that Pac is one of the most incredible wrestlers in the world. We also learned that Orange Cassidy is, in fact, world championship material.
100%.
And he opened probably even more eyes as to what he is absolutely capable of. And we also learned that Kenny Omega will do whatever it freaking takes to retain the AEW World Title, especially in a match where there is no disqualification, because in the end, after taking out the ref, he proceeded to hit Pac with every single one of his 4 title belts, knocking him out. But then Orange Cassidy connected with the Orange Punch on the champ and went for the pin, but there was no ref to count. By the time Aubrey Edwards ran to the ring from the back, Omega was able to roll Cassidy over into a crucifix pin for the victory, retaining the AEW World Title. But Orange Cassidy in this match, like, wow. Of all 3 guys, they all look great. It was a phenomenal triple threat match. And I don't really like triple threat matches, but the one that came out of this match looking like a mega star, in my opinion, was Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
That crowd was crazy for Cassidy.
Completely elevated himself beyond what I even thought was possible. Like, oh my, like, it's like we talked about, and we've said this like time and time again. We knew Kenny was going to retain. Like, that is.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's wrestling. We know that. Like, whatever you want to say. But I genuinely, at some of them near falls from Orange Cassidy, was like, no, he's got it. Just strap him up, man. That's it. I don't care anymore. I don't care about Hangman Singh. I just need this guy to win that belt because he looks insane and he looks good with that belt.
Yeah. When he got fired up at one point towards the end of the match, and he was like, you saw this whole other level of Orange Cassidy. It's like, he is like serious.
When he stared down Don Callis when he realized Don Callis was passing the belt and Don Callis ran away. That there is character detail that is going forward. Look,
it's going to pay dividends.
We've seen Orange Cassidy in matches before where he has done this, where he started out being, the gimmicky thing, and then he's gone insane. And we saw it with Pac, we saw it with, just Jericho and everything. But this match, he didn't do a lot of that. He did some, but didn't do a lot of it. This really proved to anybody that doubted that this guy is a serious wrestler. Like, he knows his stuff. And I think Kenny Omega's learned, do not count him out, because Kenny generally wasn't that bothered about Orange Cassidy. He was like, no, he's not going to do anything. Concentrate on Pac. And then he got his bell rung a few times by Orange Cassidy.
And Cassidy's the one that almost pulled it off,
Yeah, and like, even Kenny was like, how is he not going down with this? Yeah. And I think that's a very interesting character progression and just what is in store for Orange Cassidy in the future.
So will we ever see Orange Cassidy as AEW World Champion? Yes or no?
Yes.
I agree.
That reaction, Tony Khan would be insane not to.
And back when we first saw Orange Cassidy, even after the Pac match, the first one, the one that really opened my eyes, because I wasn't as familiar with Cassidy. Now I love his character, but I wasn't familiar with his in-ring work as much. And it really opened my eyes, opened your eyes, opened a lot of people's eyes. But I think even then, like, my expectations were, you know what, TNT Championship, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of where the ceiling was to me for Orange Cassidy. Yeah, and it would have been fun, and you're like, yeah, but I don't know, like, they've given you a taste of it now, and I like the way that tastes. So I might be coming back for more.
I mean, like, when I first saw Orange Cassidy, like, I didn't know anything about him. Like, generally, when I first saw him, I was like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, because obviously the crowd knew who he was. And I was like, I don't get why everybody is, like, so genuinely, like, with this guy. It doesn't make any sense to me. Then when I saw the match with Pac, I was like, okay, that makes more sense now. But still, like, that's one time, like, all right, then whatever. Yeah. I was like, oh, he's just, Trent and Chuck Taylor's mate that, just rides along with them.
Yeah.
Then we saw this stuff with Chris Jericho, and I was like, all right, so he's like a good wrestler, but he's still kind of doing, the gimmicky stuff.
Yeah, the funny stuff.
I am like, I want to go back to myself in the past and slap her because I'm 100% need this guy to have a world championship belt.
Yeah, I feel like we just were introduced to Orange Cassidy version 3. The
intensity in his eyes, I was just like, yeah, now just give him the time, just make him one, just make him a second one, just give it him.
Give him one with a big orange on it.
Just literally let him have this belt. I'm really sorry, Hangman, but you deserve it. But after that, he needs it as well. He needs it next.
Yeah.
After Hangman.
I'm still ready for Hangman.
Oh, I'm ready for Hangman, but in that match, I forgot.
I can't get off. Yeah, I know. Let's stay on our horses, okay? Let's not get too crazy.
I fell off my horse.
You did. Get back on your horse.
I'm on the horse now.
Let's keep riding. Let's ride into this next segment with Tony Schiavone.
Oh my goodness.
Tony Schiavone was in the ring for a special announcement.
I didn't think any more surprises could come from this blinking pay-per-view.
Yeah. Look, so first of all, he was announcing the AEW Rampage. The new show will be debuting Friday, August 13th. And secondly,
Friday the 13th. Good choice, guys.
Yeah. Perfect. I can't wait. It's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary good.
Oh, and secondly, the mask.
I know somebody. Most importantly, though, we will have a new analyst joining AEW, and that new analyst is the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Yes. How cool is that?
It's like they're bringing my childhood back to me. They're bringing them teenage years to me. Like, seriously, we've got Christian, we got Paul White, aka Big Show. We've now got Mark Henry. What are you doing to me?
And I love it, the roles that these guys are taking too. Yes. With Big Show taking this commentary role, and then Mark Henry's going to be an analyst. It's you're bringing smart guys that are still have so much to offer, especially 100%. To teach the young guys and putting them in these roles. And I know Mark apparently is big and getting new talent too. So apparently that's what I'm hearing from a lot of people. That he's could be an integral part of bringing in new guys. So I think, man, I think this is a smart move, man. He's a talented guy on the air.
I didn't even know he was looking for a job. I thought he was set. I thought he was set where he was.
I guess not.
And I know. Can I just say, I am anybody that mentions the words that I don't like, I'm going to block you because I just can't deal with it.
But no, I didn't look at a lot of comments last night, but I did see a few, like under the announcements, like say under the Mark Henry announcement. And so many people were commenting when they didn't really even know what he was there for. It was,
he's
great.
Not he's taking a job off a young guy. He isn't wrestling.
That was like half of the comments. Like, oh, great, he's going to beat all the young guys. Which I know half these people are trolls, but I'm like, oh, guys, you're seriously thinking that's the case? Like, you don't even understand what's going on.
You're not watching AEW then.
I know. You're just seeing the announcement.
I'm not watching AEW because not once have I thought they're putting the quote unquote legends or veterans of like wrestling over the young guys, because it's literally all about Darby Allin, MJF, Jungle Boy, Private Party, all these. It's about them.
It is, and initially, you had a lot of the veteran guys with titles, but you had to do that initially to get to here to build them up, because if you put it on the young guys right off the bat,
you're not going to get any eyes on the product.
No, so it's all being done in a great pace, and we've gotten here naturally. It didn't just force. Nobody forced Hangman Page on us. Nobody forced Darby Allin on us or whatever.
Don't forget, AEW has existed for just over 2 years.
I know.
Like, everybody seems to forget this, and it feels like they've been here for longer. But this is what patience is. Like, it's just over 2 years, guys. Everybody just needs to, let it breathe.
And patience and growing young talent, that's what this, to me,
it takes time.
Well, yeah, and that's what this last match was all about to me. Now, there is a lot of things, but we talk about young talent. We're going to get to that because that was a huge part of this last match. So,
this match.
So, yes. So now it's time for the grand finale.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Drum roll.
The Stadium Stampede between the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle. And yes, and I could talk for 12 hours describing this match, but I'm not going to, because if I do, Sarah won't get a chance to talk about it. And that will just be a tragedy.
I won't be able to eat anything.
I know. But I want to point out a few things though, okay?
Okay.
So bear with me here. Just a few things, then you're going to go. MJF in a limo. The Inner Circle repelling from the video screen.
Perfect.
A fight in Coach Urban Meyer's office. Wardlow attempted to murder. Yeah. Wardlow attempted to murder somebody with an icicle. Sean Spears in a room full of chairs with handcuffs. Kinky.
Oh my God.
FTR, Proud and Powerful in a fight club. Conan was the DJ.
Yes.
There was a Shad Khan standee. Spears was chased by motorcycles and by a golf cart. Jericho is still the GOAT. And most importantly, Sammy Guevara hit the 630 on Sean Spears in front of that crowd to win this thing for the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle in the ring with fans singing Judas was the perfect way to end this first full crowd pay-per-view for AEW. It sent the fans home happy. This is how you do it. The young guy ended this show with the win. That is so important. So important. That's how you had to end this thing. Okay. Go ahead.
Deep breaths.
Yeah,
I just want to
I'm ready for it.
Every little bit of this.
Because there's so much. There's so
much to go through. Like I'm MJF in a limo in sparkly jeans, like the rhinestone cowboy. Oh my God! And then his Burberry knee pads. You didn't even try and blend them in, dude.
No, perfect.
I love how when he got out of the limousine and everybody else had cleared off to do like their individual things, he's like looking around for Chris, and he just turns around and Chris is like, "Hi," just like generally just being casual as anything. Absolutely amazing. I think like a lot of people, I was like, how can they top last year? Like how? Because like last year was like the first one ever, set the bar. And this is gonna be more serious. It's like, how can you do this more serious? Like you're wrestling around a football stadium. Like, how is this serious? And we had serious moments. We had absolute gloriously hilarious moments.
There was still funny stuff. Yeah,
there was like generally just like MJF cowering at pretty much everything that Chris Jericho did. He got rammed in the stomach by a table, which generally looked like it hurt. Like I genuinely was like, "Oh my God, that's going to leave a bruise." He got hit by footballs and a laptop, and then thrown over a railing in a chair, which different. Where Jericho then stroked Tony Khan's cut out of his dad because Jericho hit him. Loved it. Oh my God. And like Wardlow and Hager. I love how they paired off with the people that they like are always. It's just
I wanted more continuity.
Of that. Yeah, I did as well.
And I'll tell you, when they were staying on Jericho and MJF for a long time, I kept thinking, "Where's everybody else at? What are they doing right now?" I kept thinking of that. I said, like, "Now we need picture in picture. This is where we need picture in picture right now. This is where it can be useful.
Squares around the TV screen just to see what
put it to good use, man.
Multi-layered screen just to go. But then where would you look? You'd just be going around like
my house would be all crazy.
Motion, your neck would kill. I loved like Jake Hager Wardlow trying to trap Jake Hager in a freezer. One. Then them both standing on top of a flimsy like golf cart. I generally don't know how that held their weight.
Right,
because let's face it, they're not exactly the smallest guys.
No, they're horses.
Jeez.
Yes,
that was brilliant. Shawn Spears in a room that was dark, lit up by lights, surrounded by chairs. For some reason, gave me like Hannibal Lecter vibes.
I thought he was going to start doing a striptease around the chair. That's what
it felt horror movie.
Like, what is he doing?
Because of the way his like eyes were so penetrating, like, and it just looked like he was like it was like Saw, where he's in like a room full of stuff that he can hurt you with. Shawn Spears, I've never seen you like generally like give me like, why aren't you in a horror movie vibes? Because like, you know, and then Sammy was just like, oh my God, like when he was dragging the chair along and you hear it scraping, it's like, this is amazing. Like,
and he went over to those tools where there's the cutters and all that, and then he went with the chair instead.
This is why it gives me a horror movie vibes.
Yeah, I thought I was like, he's channeling his inner Dexter. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. And like when he's like then like obviously like handcuffed Sammy to the racks. And then like Sammy just like looked down and he was like, fuckers. And then Shawn Spears going, guys, like where are you? And it's just like, dude, you're on your own. Like Sammy's got bolt cutters. Cut to like the nightclub scene, if you want.
So weirdly cool.
It's so random, but I just love how FTR and Tully just chilling by the bar, like they've nothing to do at all. Like they've pretty much, as far as they were concerned, they have seen off Santana and Ortiz, and now they're just having a drink.
They'd already won.
They'd already won. They were just like, you know, and I love how they went and had a shot. And
together before the fight.
It reminded me, and this is such a random take, of the Greatest Showman bit where they do the song with Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman.
The other side, where they're doing they're agreeing to work together.
So Tully was the bartender. I don't know who you want to be, Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman in this situation, but whatever.
Who cares?
But I was just like,
it works.
We've gone from horror movie like Shawn Spears to the Greatest Showman with these guys. And then like when they got cut into the music, I was like, okay, this is so cool. Like I was so happy. And then just the best bit, they went down in an elevator or a lift, as we call them in the UK, because I was just like, when they like bumped into it, I was like, please tell me they're doing what I think they are doing. And they did. They went into it. And I know I'm talking so much about this, but
you can't help but talk about it.
I know. I loved how then they transitioned into it being live.
Yes, that was
seamlessly. Like I generally was like, that is like big props to everybody who pulled that off, because I didn't expect it, but I wanted it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I suspected we would end up back in the ring at some point. I may have mentioned on one of the shows. I'm not sure if I did or not, but I suspected that would happen. But I was I'm still curious, because I was like, well, this has got to be taped, what we're watching. And it was cool because I looked on Twitter while the match was happening, and people's responses were, all this was live.
It was seamless.
If you fool people that way, you've done it right, because people were fooled. A lot of people were online. They thought I
genuinely was just like I'm sure we've just like that was
had to be,
because you couldn't even tell, like, because obviously MJF had the blood on his face.
They did it really well.
I think I heard like when they were doing the predictions for What Culture, I think Michael Sidgwick said something like, oh, if people get like really like, you know, critical of like the fact that the blood isn't exactly right if they do this type transition, but I couldn't really see how there was any mess up.
I didn't think about it.
No, really, exactly. That just proves how good this was. Jericho just generally just standing in the middle of the crowd, loving life. He looked so happy.
After he power bombed MJF, the him hanging over the rails, like, that was a moment.
He looked so in his element, Jericho. In this point, he was just like, look, say what you want about Chris Jericho, like, you know, he's not exactly perfect, but
no, who is
this? You've got to give the guy credit, like his career, and he's still killing it. He's still got that admiration from people. And then obviously we flip that down and you just see Sean Spears casually walking, you know, nothing's going on in life. And then all of a sudden you just spot the headlights, and it was just such an awesome callback to last year for Sammy. Like look at the whole like transition of the Inner Circle from this time last year when they did this to now. Like, and then you just see Sean Spears running for his life, gets knocked over.
Yeah, he did.
I really want someone to do the video of the run again, because I loved it last time. And then into the ring, and the best way to finish this was with Sammy beating Sean Spears 1, 2, 3. And the Inner Circle, because I was like, where is everybody else? Like, come on, guys. Come on. And then they all turn up and everybody's singing Judas. And when they just looked at the Inner Circle's faces, absolutely pure joy.
Because you could tell they were absolutely having a blast. Like, this was, I've never seen Jake Hager look that happy. Like, he genuinely looked like he was having the time of his life. Like, I feel like he's in his best spot now that he's ever been in professional wrestling. Just the way he looked, he was so. Just all of them were so happy to be there. It was so fun to watch them celebrate afterwards. It really was.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And it just felt like we'd come home to like proper wrestling again. Not that the pandemic stuff wasn't proper wrestling, but you can't. It was so weird having no crowds for such a long time, and then it was great having a little bit of crowds and then a little bit more crowds. But it was never. You never can match a full crowd at a wrestling event. I'm sorry, there is just no way. And
makes such a big difference.
Like I said on, I think, the review, it gives the wrestlers something to feed off. They get feedback. They like, do you know what I mean? They can play up to the crowd. They get more heat, or they get more, you know, fanfare or whatever, and it just makes them like better, but not in the fact that they were bad, but just you just see them enjoying what they're doing so much more. Look at everybody's single face that was in front of that crowd wrestling that night. Yeah, they all could not. You saw it in their eyes, or you saw it like by them smiling or whatever, but it was there. Like, they genuinely soaked every minute of that up, and 100% credit to them for getting through what was the worst situation to be in for a live wrestling show ever, is no crowds.
It was just that extra jolt that was missing. And as good as they've done so well through the pandemic. The wrestlers have, because it really, like you talked about, it can't be easy to wrestle in front of no one, or just in front of your peers, or just in front of a few people. It can't be easy to get not excited, but just to get motivated to perform at your top level. Without that feedback, like you said. But now that we got that crowd as good as, and we've been entertained throughout the pandemic. I'm not gonna lie, I've loved it. They've killed it. We've done as good as they could possibly do, even with holding off some storylines that you think would progress a lot quicker than they have. But you feel like now, holy moly, what are we in store for going forward? Because
exactly,
whatever was holding them back a little bit during this pandemic is gone. Like, they're breaking loose now, so it is going to be it's going to be amazing going forward.
Yeah, and we've already got the other 2 pay-per-views that are left for the year announced.
Yes. Yep. All Out in Chicago and Full Gear in St. Louis. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna have another Friday Dynamite.
Which makes it so easy for us.
Yeah, more scheduling issues. Fine. Here we go. The matches announced for that Dynamite, though, are Nick Comoroto versus Dustin Rhodes in a bull rope match. The Young Bucks versus Pac and Penta in tag team action. That should be.
So we're going back to that now.
Yeah, that should be good, though. That should be good.
Yeah.
Cody and Lee Johnson versus QT Marshall and Anthony Ogogo, and what we hope is the end of this thing. We hope there's some closure there between Ogogo and Cody, and we hope there are no flags involved. Can we just
please leave the flags at home?
Leave the flags out of it. Let's just make it Nightmare Family versus Factory going forward. Please, for the love of God.
Yep.
And we're also going to have Britt Baker's championship celebration. I am so excited for this.
So good.
Yes, hold on, folks, because this ride with Baker as a champion is going to be a fun one.
Have Tony Schiavone doing the interview.
Absolutely. Good point.
Interview,
yes.
Tony Schiavone needs to do it. He now needs to be her interviewer.
Her personal interviewer. Also, they announced that in 2 weeks, we're going to get Kenny Omega versus Jungle Boy for the AEW World Championship.
Oh my God.
Yes. And I feel like we know who's going to win that one, but the match itself is going to be phenomenal. I'm really excited to see what story is told in the ring.
Yeah.
And what story is told on TV for the next 2 weeks between 100%. Jungle Boy and the Elite.
Wait for Kenny Omega because he's not like him. What he's going to stoop to and what Don Callis is going to stoop to like grind down Jungle Boy.
Yep.
Because this will be like an actual heel versus face dynamic like no other.
True. Yes, because Jungle Boy is a baby face if there's ever been one.
Yeah.
He is that. We talked about how Rio is that sweet baby face in the female division. You feel like Jungle Boy is that guy in the men's division. He's not that he's tiny or anything, but he's just that. You look at it as the innocent, sweet baby face. That's where Jungle Boy is. So
he looks about 15.
Yeah. So even though we don't think Jungle Boy's going to win it, this could be important for Jungle Boy's story going forward because something could happen here where it adds a layer to his growth as a character. So 100%. That's what I'm looking for. So
I also can't wait for like the fallouts of like the Bucks, Mox and Kingston, Sting and Darby.
The Inner Circle, Pinnacle stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
I can't wait for MJF to say anything.
Yeah, I know. And we talked about Britt Baker. Who's going to challenge Britt Baker for the title? I mean, is that going to be told right off the bat? Is somebody going to come out? I mean, we got to have.
I just don't think we're going to
something built.
The person like that's legit going to be the one that takes it off her. She can't.
Yeah, no.
That isn't going anywhere for a while.
No. I'm interested to see because I still think, even though she's not going to lose it for a while, I don't think she's going to lose it at All Out or anytime.
I know
shortly
who I want it
after
to be.
that, but she's got to. Who?
To take it off her completely, as in.
Eventually.
Wait,
can I guess?
You can try.
Anna Jay.
100%.
Okay.
Just to bring some gold back to the Dark Order. And I just want to see Stu Grayson's face.
Oh, yes. That would be great.
So, Woody, let me ask you the question.
Okay.
Out of all the matches on pay-per-view that we've seen,
yes,
at Double or Nothing, please tell me your number one match of the night.
Number one, I tell you, it's close because there were so many good matches. But my favorite match of the night, hands down, was Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. I am joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm literally about to stop this right now.
USA. Okay, no,
Don't
seriously.
Stop.
Seriously, my favorite match was the world title match. Just a match alone. I'm talking match alone, not story build around it or anything like that, but just in ring. My favorite match was the world title match, Orange Cassidy, Pac, and Kenny Omega. I thought as a match alone, I was into that in-ring action. The story that was been told in the ring more than any other match on the card. Absolutely, I think it stole the show. How about you? What would be yours?
I want to see if you can guess it because I think a lot of people will be surprised with my answer. Maybe not actually, but
no. I think I know. I've got it locked in. I knew it was your favorite from the get-go.
Go on.
And I agree. I think some people would be surprised that it would be. I think it was the Bucks versus Moxley and Kingston.
No.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
You're messing with me. That's got to be your favorite.
No.
I figured it would be, even though they lost, just because it was such a good match. But
it was a good match. But like you, if we're looking at what the match was, minus the storyline and everything.
Okay. So what was it?
It's gonna be Sting Darby versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page.
Oh.
Because it is something I am gonna go back and watch for the rest of the week.
It was very memorable. There were so many. Yes. Yep.
Just because I got so much emotion out of it.
It did. That's a good call.
I genuinely it gave me such happy feelings. I was just like so happy, and I was so happy that Sting survived. And he didn't get broken.
He didn't only survive; he ruled. I mean, Sting was the man in that match.
And just like Darby killed it, Scorpio Sky killed it, Ethan Page killed it, Sting killed it.
They all did.
And just for the reaction from the crowd, sum it all up together and stand out. Absolute standout.
Good answer. Good answer.
So not what you thought.
It's not. But
it's the only time I've not chosen a Moxley match as well.
Because that was the Moxley.
It was brilliant.
Kingston Young Bucks. That was probably number 2 for me, and then the Sting Darby.
If the Sting Darby match hadn't been on the card, it probably would have been Moxley and Kingston.
Yeah.
But just because of everything about that match, what it was, what it meant, like history making, all that, and how amazing that match was.
Yep.
I can't take it away.
It's good that it's so hard to pick because that's a sign of a great show, because it was top to bottom. Top to bottom, great show.
100%.
We would be very interested to see what your favorite match was. So please let us know in the comments on Twitter. What was your favorite match of the night? Did you enjoy the fact that the Young Bucks won? I know I did. Do you think the right people won? Do you disagree with us about Cody and Ogogo? Did you enjoy that match? Did you like that for what it was? And how about Jungle Boy? I just can't get over that. Very interested to hear what you have to say. So please let us know.
100%. Let us know, because this is what we like. We like discussing stuff.
Absolutely. That's why we're discussing it now, because we like discussing it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It does. And we hope you enjoyed Double or Nothing. I know we did. We enjoyed it. Enjoyed talking about it. Don't forget to look out for our Dynamite review, which is going to be for the Friday episode of Dynamite.
Yeah.
We're hoping to have that out on Saturday. We got it done last Saturday, so we'll see what we can do this Saturday too. I think we can do this. I think we can do it. So keep a lookout for that. That will be the next episode we have coming out. Please follow the channel on Twitter at BeautyXTheBeard. You can follow me at Let the Beard Play, and you can follow Sarah at Strange_Pixie.
You can.
Yes. Y'all be good out there, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.